So I believe it was my freshman year. I originally read The Most Dangerous Game. It was an assignment for my advanced reading class. And reading it back then, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. So I kind of have a little bit of experience with this. To begin with, I would have the setting be a tropical place. The first place that comes to mind for me personally would be Cozumel, Mexico. It's a little island right off the mainland, and it's just a very tropical place, very green, very lively. Personally, if I was stranded on an island, I would not want to be running through there because the shrubbery there is just very dense. And I believe it would be most similar to the Caribbean. I wouldn't want to shoot a movie in the Caribbean, therefore, I didn't even put it on my list. Hawaii is also there. I'm originally from the Big Island, so I know the landscape very well. The movie style, I'm a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan. You'll probably understand that from just reading the rest of it. So the movie style would be kind of like Shutter Island. It was a very dark, kind of mysterious movie. The tone was similar to Inception, I believe. Yeah, it's called. At the end, you kind of don't know what happened. It's just not very clear. It leaves a lot of room for imagination, things like that. As you can imagine, the actors I would choose would be Leonardo DiCaprio because you have an eloquent guy who's from a rich setting but gets stranded. So we would see like Leo in The Great Gatsby, cut to Leo from The Revenant. Other protagonist options, just for who I pictured in my head, would be actors like Liam Hemsworth, or as I like to call Baby Thor, or Logan Lerman. He is the actor who played in Percy Jackson. As an antagonist, definitely Tom Hardy, huge fan of him, or even Gerard Butler. Liam Neeson would be a very good antagonist. Uh, that would be really the only cast, the only two characters I would imagine starring in this movie, so it would be very ideal. One of the questions where I would shoot it, that was a bit unclear. I would imagine it would be start the movie. We have the antagonist on the ship. Cut to him in the water, ship's wrecked. He's treading the water. And then he gets to the shore. So we cut to a beach, things like that. And then we see him traveling through the forest. He comes across the mansion. And then we could probably have a good, I don't know, 10 scenes in that mansion. Just everything that transpires from there. Him learning what he's going to have to do, learning who this character is, the antagonist. Right back to the jungle. I would imagine the fight even goes to the shore. And then cut right back to the mansion and him sleeping in the bed. We can kind of leave blanks for the person watching the movie to fill in. I think as a very avid movie watcher, I enjoy movies where I can kind of fill in the blanks and think of it how I want to think of it. So not necessarily like someone is telling me exactly what happened, how it happened, who it happened to. I can just use my creativity and fill in all the blanks that are missing. I'm no film student, so as for the how I would shoot it, I enjoy movies that go from close up to panned out, just repeatedly, and so you are almost feeling as if you're in it, but yet you're seeing the bigger picture in the end. I would personally, I don't like movies that are narrated much, unless Morgan Freeman, of course, is narrating it, then okay. So I would personally not have it narrated, just because this story is just one that doesn't really need too much explaining. It's very simple, and I think that's how the story was created. It kind of showcases the simplicity of man and our urge to hunt and just basic human urges. And so we should leave that to the reader's interpretation, and they can see it how they want to see it. Now, in my version of the movie, I would not have it as the story was. I would actually deviate from the storyline a lot. So, what I would like was if the main conflict wasn't between the character, the protagonist, and the antagonist, but rather within the protagonist's head. So, this entire movie, isn't battling with how am I going to survive this? How am I going to kill him? How am I going to make it through that? He's going to be battling himself with, should I kill him? Should I make it through this? Just kind of like an internal thing. So, I mean, with that, I guess you would need narrating, which kind of crosses my original answer to the question. But I think he should have a religious background, and I think we should pan out and do kind of a, I guess it would be a foreshadowing, and he should just reflect on his religious beliefs, and it should be a battle of morality rather than brute strength and human conflict. So it should be, is it right to hunt him who is hunting me? I would consider myself kind of a humorous person. I love comedies. I mean, I want to hear a joke. I love puns. I love all that. I love light movies. And despite this, there is just no way to make this tone of this movie light. It would have to be kind of a dark, foreboding, mysterious, just real downer of a movie. But, I mean, there could be parts in there where we just lighten it up a tab, like, hey, maybe he trips, eats it, and we get a little giggle out of that. Because I honestly dread sitting through a whole movie that just is packed in sadness and just Debbie Downers. I wouldn't enjoy that. So the biggest thing I wanted to bring up was color. Personally, I love colors. I do a lot of art stuff, color pencils, painting, all that jazz. And in this movie, as much as it pains me, I think we need to leak out most of the color in the movie, because as you're reading the story, you're not seeing vibrancy, you're not seeing colors, you're not seeing any imagery aside from the forest. So therefore, going back to Shutter Island, I know I've brought back this movie so many times in conversation. I just think it's a very good base point for it. We need to kind of bleach out that color, so I've included a few clips and stuff at the end. I don't know how to bring them into the video. I'm very not technologically smart. And therefore, so I have clips from Shutter Island, and you see that they took a vibrant, very green place, and they kind of bleached the color out of it. It's not old school black and white, but it's definitely not Avatar level, you know, with the bright purples, the bright greens, the bright blue people. So it's just going to be kind of like a dull, bleh kind of imagery movie. But that's where the storyline kind of saves it a little bit.